speakers to forward comments regarding individual employees or students to the superintendent. With that, the first person on our list tonight is Colin Peters. Colin, come on up to the microphone. You have 5 minutes. Colin, if you could just say your street addresses as well, please.
1881 Oakland Lane. Hello, members of the school board. My name is Colin Peters. To give you all a small portion of information on myself, I attend Stillwater Junior High as a 9th grader. I maintain high honor grades. I am the student body president at SJHS, and I'm the 9th grade confirmation band leader at Trinity Lutheran Church. Had it not been for my incredible experiences at Stonebridge Elementary, I would have neither the skills nor the confidence to take on these leadership responsibilities. For example, in 6th grade at Stonebridge, Sham Dorn, the student body vice president, and I taught a guitar class to our fellow students. And while this was a great tool to put under our belts for future reference, the basic building blocks of our leadership skills and the confidence to lead, beyond any doubt, began to accumulate in Colony 1 with the help of the paraprofessionals. While in Colony 1, I was lent many freedoms and responsibilities, and it was these responsibilities that led to to lead not only myself, but others around me in a positive and productive manner. Students were given their work for the day by the teachers, who would also teach the lesson, and then it was expected that the student would do their work for that day, meaning it was the student's choice to succeed or fail. While teachers taught the students the lesson, it was the paraprofessionals who set the students on a path to success by helping them become much more independent. Problems for and between students were resolved through the paraprofessionals, and I know without hesitation that I wouldn't be in the place I'm in without them. Finally, I'd like to conclude by saying that many points in my argument can be debated. However, one thing is positive and can be agreed on by all, and that is that the school board's job is to educate. Yet it amazes me that an organization whose goal is to educate would even consider ridding themselves of Colony 1 paraprofessionals. By performing this action, the school board would be robbing the students of opportunities to learn how to become independent, a piece of knowledge that is priceless. However, if one were to commodify the knowledge of how to be independent, I assure every one of you that it would be far greater of a price than that of what you would have to pay to keep paraprofessionals in their current positions employed. Thank you.
Nice job, Colin. Well done. The next person is Grace Gabriel, please. Do we have a chair for Grace? Is there a little microphone? Right here, Grace. Right here, dear. Right here, dear.
Look at that.
There you go. Take your time now.
My name is Grace Gabriel, and I go to Stonebridge Elementary School. I am in 3rd grade, and I love my school. Our paras are nice. Paras are very nice and very helpful to everybody. Why do you want to change our school? We all don't want to lose our paras. My sister Ellie, who is in Colony 1, cried when my mom told us what might happen. I don't want them to lose their jobs. The school will not be the same. The paras help me when my teacher is helping other kids. Please believe in Stonebridge and me. This will really change a lot of families. Thank you for your time.
Great job. Great job, Grace. We have 3 from this, I think, the same family. Do you all want to come up together? This is Amelia, Bruce, and Rowan Bell Myers. Do we all want to come? Or is that mom and dad too?
Amelia. Okay, Rowan, you can go first.
My name is Rowan B. Myers. I'm in 4th grade, and I, for one, think the paras are great. They help every day. They're really awesome, and taking them away is just like taking away all the fun from Stonebridge. That is what I have to say.
Go ahead, dear. Take your time.
My name is Amelia Bell Myers. I live at 821 North 4th Street. 821 4th Street North. My mom and dad say I'm a good reader. I can read chapter books, even though I'm only a kindergartner. I read as good as many kids in 2nd grade. My teachers are Miss Stedman, Miss Sandel, and Mrs. James. They work with me at tables to help me be the best reader ever. I'm good at math too. My teacher, Miss Stedman, is not going to work at school the next year because all the changes are hard for her. The changes are hard for me too. The school doesn't have to be hard. Don't change it. It's already okay how it is. I know everyone likes it, and I like it too. There's this one thing I wanted to tell you. I love this school, and I want you to love it too.
Thank you.
I'm going to use this mic if it's okay.
That's okay. You go right ahead.
That one I think would hurt my knees.
That's okay. You've got great kids. Thank you.
I'm also really proud that Mom helped them type those, but they wrote them themselves. So.
Yeah.
My name is Bruce Bell Myers. I reside at 821 4th Street North. I've been asked to speak on behalf of the Stonebridge parents who have been and continue to fight to save our Colony One staffing model. But first, I would like to invite all the great Stonebridge parents who are here tonight to stand with me now. We're here to stand for and support our school, the wonderful teachers, the paraprofessionals, and our principal, Mr. Berg. And we made two very reasonable requests. One, to change the language in the budget adjustment document to read as follows: eliminate additional funding to Stonebridge Elementary, because we think that's reasonable. And two, allow 1 year to research the strengths of the current model and investigate alternative staffing options. Based on the letter that was sent to Stonebridge parents yesterday, it appears as though we will be given 1 year to transition to the same model that exists in all the other elementary schools in the district. There's no mention of testing or investigation into the strengths of the current model. As a matter of fact, there is very little, if any, data that suggests that the Stonebridge model is not working today in the K-1 Colony One. While we appreciate the gesture, we really, really do, we can't stand by and watch this happen. We agree the model needs to be more cost efficient, but we believe it can still work. We would like to use the next year to prove that to you. It is such a shame that the board is so quick to cast out a 40-year-old model that has enriched the lives of so many young people, some of whom are standing in front of you right here tonight. And what is even more troubling is that you make these changes without good data or due process regarding K-1 performance. It is a unique K-1 model in our district that offers diversity and choice for families. I actually have 3 kids. They all went to Stonebridge. Vanessa, my oldest, is in junior high school now. Very good at math, too, I should add. You know, Rowan's in Colony 3. My youngest, Amelia, she's in kindergarten. My family chose to move here from Minneapolis because of Stonebridge. We've been here for all 3 of our kids. A lot of folks standing here with me today also chose Stonebridge because of the Colony One model. We chose it. No other school has been singled out the way Stonebridge has in this process. Stonebridge is an amazing school with bright children, loving, engaged parents, and wonderful staff. Our Colony One program has gone through tremendous change over the past several years. More change is coming. A new math curriculum. It's only 1 year old. The elimination of our groundbreaking ITA program, and now you want to destroy the staffing model that has enriched so many young lives. A public school board is just that, public. It has a responsibility to the public that it is representing. We used every avenue provided to us to share our thoughts. The Stonebridge advocates have voted. We're number 4 out of 85 issues. We've used the conversations page. We've contacted the board. We're 3rd highest amount of communication on any issue. We are trying. And attended and spoke at meetings as we are now. You now offer up a year of transition. While we do appreciate the concession, it's not enough. It's not enough because when it's done, that year, Stonebridge won't be Stonebridge anymore. Thank you.
Bruce, thank you. Very eloquent and very classy. Thank you very much. Next person is Brian Gunderson. Brian?
Thank you, George. My name is Brian Gunderson. I live at 228 Everett Street North. So I will, like Bruce, I stand here with the parents of Stonebridge in support of the Colony One staffing model. I work in the housing industry. I'm also a board member on the partnership plan. And so I understand budget cutting. I understand that I've had to let staff go in recent years. It's tough. It's not easy. And so I do appreciate the difficult position that the board is in. We know that this means that there's going to be changes. There's going to be changes at Stonebridge, and we've accepted those changes, and we accept the fact that we're not going to get the same additional funding that we've had in the past. We believe that Colony One and the Stonebridge staffing model is unique. We believe it's one of the great choices that we have within our district. We also believe that it's one that should be replicated within the district and not cast away. So I have 3 boys at Stonebridge. I have 2 that are in Colony 3, and I have 1 that's in Colony 1, little Sammy. Sammy's he's a beautiful, kind, sweet, smart little boy, but he's also a boy that needs extra help. And the Colony One staffing model is one that has really served him well this year. He's in kindergarten right now. Miss Beckman and all the wonderful paras that work with her are able to work with Sammy. They're able to give him extra time and attention. They're able to work in small groups with other kids that are at like ability. That small group setting really enables all kids to reach their full potential much faster than they could in a much larger setting. You know, Sammy's a great example of a kid that in a 20-to-1 staffing ratio model is one child that could easily fall through the cracks. And that's something that we're very concerned about. My 2 older boys, Isaac and Aiden, Isaac's here tonight. They're great kids. They're doing well. They're doing great in school. And it's in no small part due to the great foundation that they received in Colony One. Colony One is an area where they develop character. They develop the whole student. They pay attention to academics, but they also are there to support the social needs of those young kids. It just wouldn't be possible in a student ratio of 20-to-1. And we believe that we've got a model that's unique and needs to be investigated more. I'm really proud of my kids, as I'm sure all of us in this room are. They have strong character and they're developing into nice young men. And I'm a firm believer that not only happens in the home, but it also is enriched, learned, and supported during the school day. And Stonebridge is one school that I can tell you really takes that serious and really looks at the entire whole student and they support them throughout the process. So as Bruce mentioned earlier, and as so many great young kids have articulated, Stonebridge is a beautiful model. And the Colony One staffing model is really the crown jewel that makes it so unique, I believe. We're simply asking for two things. One is that we change the budget language in the line item adjustment to eliminate the additional funding for Stonebridge Elementary. A subtle change, but I think a very important one. And second, that we take this extra year, which you have graciously offered us to use as a transitional year, but we do the proper investigation into that model and understand what it is that's making it so unique, and prove with data that this K-1 program really works and works well for the district. It's a great model of choice. It's one that we shouldn't throw away, and it's part of what makes Stillwater schools great. So I'm an alum of Stillwater. I'm proud of Stillwater. I've lived in Stillwater my whole life, and I'm here to tell you that I want to make Stillwater schools great, and I'll work with you. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to working with Mr. Berg on these issues, and I thank you for your time, and thank you for your open-mindedness.
Thanks, Brian, and thanks for your work with the partnership plan and all the fundraising you've done as well. You do a great job for the school district. Next person is, I hope I don't pronounce this incorrectly, Carrie Mira? Carrie, or is that right? Carrie Mira? You back there? All right.
Hello. I'm Carrie Myra, 9272 Ojibwe Avenue North. I guess in coming up here today, I just am hoping to represent as a parent in the community, an alumni of Stonebridge. Definitely have fond memories of Stonebridge. My kids now will be going there. I have a daughter in kindergarten, which makes all the teachers feel old. I wrote a few things down that I wanted to put out there, and I wrote it in the corner just now, so it might be a little rough, but I actually came across an article from a friend of mine from college outlining the merits of the Finnish education system. This is very random, but I promise there's a point. And it talked in this article a lot about how shocking it was that Finland had this huge educational success over the last like 10 years, beating out traditional schools like Japan and China and the schools that you would expect that kind of success from. And the shocking thing was that it didn't have any standardized testing, and its system was very different from all the other systems that it had so much success. And I saw some parallels, and I just thought it might be worth pointing out for Stonebridge's sake. The person who was addressing a panel of American educators was a man named Pasi Sahlberg, and when he was receiving these questions from this panel, they kept asking him, how can you keep track of students' performance if you don't test them constantly? How can you improve teaching if you have no accountability for bad teachers or merit pay for good teachers? There's all sorts of questions. And he responded with, for starters, that Finland had no standardized tests. Instead, the public school system's teachers are trained to assess children in the classroom using independent tests they create themselves. All children receive a report card at the end of the semester, but these reports are based on individualized grading by each teacher. As for accountability, Pasi said, accountability is something that is left when responsibility has been subtracted, which caught my attention just as a quote, and I found that really intriguing because we talk a lot about accountability, and when I think about the teachers at Stonebridge, the paraprofessionals, in Colony One, the teachers that I had, accountability, responsibility, whichever term you want to use, as a team between the two, the teachers and the paras, there's responsibility afforded to them that I don't believe other schools have at their disposal. As an example, I had Mrs. Germain in Colony 3, and I was a bit of a off-the-wall student, and I would get my work done and then be very disruptive to the other kids trying to get their work done. And so instead of constantly punishing me, Mrs. Germain came up with a way to productively motivate me with a system of rewards, and I won't bore you with all the details, but she came up with sort of a side method that worked great, and I flourished under it, and I did very well at Stonebridge, and I did very well in the rest of my academic career. And I'm not saying that what she did, thank you, I'm not saying that what she did formed every success I've ever had, but you never know what those moments mean to a kid and how that forms success in their school life from there on out at Colony 1 or Colony 3 or wherever it may be. So I guess I really valued that Mrs. Germain had the time because of the way she worked with the paras and the work that they did for other teachers that would normally do that work themselves. She had time to think about a way for one student to have a more successful school career and, as a result, not disrupt all the other students and let them have a successful career. It was a really endearing quality about Stonebridge that I admire very much. And lastly, if you do need to make these changes that you're proposing, I just hope that you've really gone through the gamut and made sure that there wasn't any other way to spare the budget. This is obviously a very important issue to people who have come here to fight for these things, and it means a lot to people. But in the end, you know, as a citizen, I support your decision, and I will do everything I can, regardless of what happens, to make sure that our kids have a successful school experience. But don't gloss over everybody's care and concern here tonight, because clearly there's a lot of people here that are very emotionally invested in our little school. So, okay, that's all I have.
Great. Olivia Bulow. Olivia?
Hello, my name is Olivia Bulow. I live 170.
You can pull the microphone down if you want.
I know I'm kind of short. 17095 Olinda Trail. I'm up in Marine on the St. Croix. I didn't even know about this meeting until last night. I'm very busy. I work at a tax office this time of year, and I'm actually completely unprepared. I have nothing written down. I'm a Stonebridge student. I'm turning 40. I went to Stonebridge. I can clearly remember all of my paraprofessionals. Mrs. Mondor was my favorite. I can't even, I'm so emotional even just thinking about it because it was such a wonderful experience for me. It shocks me that anybody would question that there would be anything not beneficial about breaking kids down into tiny little horseshoe tables where it's one teacher versus like 7 or 8 kids versus one teacher versus 25 kids in a classroom. I think they gain so much more out of it. It is, you know, it's just, I'm just kind of blown away that it's even an issue, to be completely honest. Both of my daughters went to Stonebridge. I have a 10th grader and a soon-to-be 7th grader finishing 6th grade at Stonebridge. Both of them couldn't have had a better experience with elementary school. I mean, honestly, I couldn't. They always tested above and beyond on all of their test scores. They, I mean, have just completely excelled. My 10th grader is in all honors classes. My gonna-be 7th grader is accepted into honors classes. To me, to find out that there's question that this program works or that this is a good thing for students is I'm honestly just completely overwhelmed. I have never seen a better program. When I talk to people about it and I tell them how Stonebridge works, how they break it down, most people are kind of amazed that that can even exist at a public school level. They would think of it as a private school or a charter school, and the fact that Stonebridge has been able to provide that type of education as a public school for all of these years, 40+ years it sounds like, I really, really think that it's something to strongly consider before you would consider taking that away from. There is no better place on earth than Colony 1. Honestly, I can't even think of a better place for any child. And maybe I will just leave it at that.
Thank you, all of the speakers. It takes a lot of courage to get up and speak in front of a large crowd like this, and those children that had the courage to come up to the microphone and speak, that's awfully impressive. And the other thing to note is the classy way in which you approach this, and it's noted by me in particular. So thank you very, very much for the teachable moment you've created for your children, which is what this is all about. Next on our agenda is our consent items. The minutes of the February 23rd, 2012 board meeting, the bills payable February 15th through February 29th, 2012, the human resource personnel report, and the non-Minnesota resident tuition agreement. All those, no, I need a motion, please, to accept consent agenda, please.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Thanks, Kathy. Could I get a second?
Second.
Thanks, Natasha.